Everyone can turn on their mics. Call this meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. Can you please stand for the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So tonight, we're just returning from executive session, which was to discuss the superintendent's contract and evaluation. And we're going to go right into our code of conduct hearing. And so for this, this is a public hearing for the code of conduct as required by New York State education law. Our code of conduct is to be reviewed annually. The board adopts and amends as appropriate a code of conduct for the maintenance of order on school property, including school function, which shall govern the conduct of students, teachers, and other school personnel, as well as visitors, and shall provide for the enforcement thereof. Such policy may be adopted by the board or trustees only after at least one public hearing that provides for the participation of school personnel, parents, students, and any other interested parties. So with that, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Mrs. Carmen, who is going to provide an overview, and then we'll have a period of time where the public can come up and comment.
Okay, thank you very much. Is it on? No, it's on. Thank you very much, Mrs. Hoffman. As she said, I'm going to just give a overview of the Code of Conduct. This is a yearly process that we go through every single year to make sure that we're updating the Code of Conduct in its alignment with the laws and the regulations and any rules. This year was a year that we really took the Code of Conduct and really delved into it to ensure that it was representative of what we here as a school system support and believe in. And one of the things that I would like to do is just not generically, but go through some of those key changes that are representative here that are in the document. As the name implies, the Code of Conduct is a document that articulates rights and responsibility of students and adults alike and serves to set the expectations for conduct. The format that you see and some phrases of the Code of Conduct have been revised and refined, being much more intentional about affirming the expectations outlined on our student and employee profiles. So the format is been changed drastically this year. And you will see that in what's being presented. It is focused on changing behaviors or conduct that interrupts the educational experience, using a restorative approach versus being overly punitive. The proposed conduct upholds all applicable laws, rules, and regulations when it comes to preserving a school environment that is conducive to teaching and learning. What Dr. Robinson has here up on the slide right now, you'll see is a new component of the Code of Conduct, which is a letter from the superintendent to our Shenendehowa community, talking about what the Code of Conduct is and the importance of it and the value of the code. As he scrolls through, you'll see there's a lot of information regarding definitions, and requirements by the law and certain regulations that we have to have. But in addition to that, one of the biggest things we also added this year was the values and the beliefs and the mission of Shenendehowa Central School District, and made sure that it was in alignment with the profile of a Shenendehowa student and employee, and added those components. And again, really focusing on and affirming the language, so it's coming from a very positive lens. as you continue to scroll down, and it talks, and again, a lot of this information is information that's always been in the Code of Conduct, rights and responsibilities, and we continue going through this. Really, I want to focus on the appendix because that is something that we formatted a little bit differently this year. We did not take out information that was previously there in regards to infractions and disciplinary consequences. We just formatted it differently after getting feedback from students prior to this process, as well as administrators, parents, and looking at how this is formatted, the language and the structure of this is much easier to read and understand. The Appendix 1 really outlines, and Dr. Robinson, I know that's further down. This talks about restorative practices and what we're doing in the system in regards to that, and defining what it is. And let me reiterate that a lot of this information was information that was in the other Code of Conduct, just formatted a little bit differently. In the Appendix 1, we outline the legal requirements as it relates to violent behaviors. And we also, in Appendix 2, still, as I discussed, contain the infractions, suggested responses, and possible disciplinary actions that the previous Code of Conduct had. And it has been reorganized to highlight the progressive nature of discipline. And so, like I said, the format was changed to help administrators and parents and students understand what that progression looks like. So here's the Appendix 1, and this is where the legal requirements are for violent behaviors. And again, this is not new information. Appropriate definitions, and then it goes into the Appendix 2, which are the infractions and disciplinary action, possible disciplinary actions. And as Dr. Robinson scrolls down, you'll see there's a lot of wording, but then it gets into a chart that really helps people. Oh, I'm sorry, if we could just focus one up, and I'll mention this before we go to the chart. This section, smoking, vaping, or use of tobacco and nicotine, this is a section that we actually pulled out of the disciplinary actions and consequences and wanted to highlight in a separate section because we really wanted to bring attention to the seriousness of this and making sure people understand what these violations are and what the consequences are as it relates to vaping and smoking on school grounds. And then it goes to the chart, which again is not new, it's just formatted differently to really show the progression of discipline and the different options for disciplinary consequences. You want to keep scrolling a little bit. And again, these are various examples. Are they inclusive of everything? Not necessarily, but we tried to capture as much as we could, and we worked collectively with, and I really want to give kudos to Ron Agostinoni and his team here in working with the students here at the high school level, but also administrators across the district who also shared some information regarding some of these updates. And again, standardized information was from the old Code of Conduct is in here. And defining what suspension is, and the suspension process and what that looks like for short-term versus long-term suspensions, permanent suspension, and then suspension from athletic participation, extracurricular activities, and other privileges is a component that's in here, and linking some key policies that also relate to that we have updated to ensure that they're consistent across the district. Transportation and the expectations for behavior on the school bus, and then also for students attending BOCES. And then students with disabilities, working with Michelle Milad's office to ensure that these are all reflective of the law, and again, no new information from the previous code of conduct there. And always really looking at best practices to support a return to school. Obviously, when any student is absent from school for a period of time, it's critical that we really work on a reentry plan. And we have the team at the table to ensure that students are successful. So this really talks about what does that look like when we want to do that reentry plan. And then this section is about student privacy rights and searches as it relates, talking about their lockers, their desks, searches of students if they're suspicious, if there's suspicion, reasonable suspicion of a violation. Cell phone use, which again, this language has not changed, just formatted differently. And then this is due process. And as always, when we talk about students who need further assistance beyond the educational setting, we work with our Saratoga County partners and work potentially sometimes with family court. And so this talks about what some of those referrals might look like. And then this is First Amendment rights, and just provides some verbiage and definitions of what that might, or what that is. And I think that is it at the end there. Anything further from me?
Over the years, this has grown, right? So you take it. Oh, you not hear me? You didn't hear my big mouth?
No, I can't.
I've never been accused of that before. I think this is, this has come over years, right? It's growing from what we've seen in the last probably 5 or 6 years, adding and adding and adding, culminating, right? And I think it's very, very inclusive of like you said, what we said, of what we have, what we see in our community, what we see in our school and other schools. So very well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. So,
Jason,
do you want to share?
Yeah, just a question or thought. So yeah, I'll also agree. I like the format and the improvements made. I think it's a better document for use by students and parents. I guess the one comment I would make or question is as we implement this, there's a focus on restorative practices and rethinking how we're handling discipline. So my question would be, and to think about, is how are we monitoring the effectiveness of those tactics versus what has been used in the past, and how does that affect the outcomes of behavior in our students, right? Because I think that's the key thing. It's a great use of new principles, but it's also important that we are monitoring that to see that it's effective and it achieves the desired outcomes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay. Any other comments? You're looking.
Oh, I thought that was a question or a comment.
I think it was, and it was also asking a nod towards metrics so that we can.
Do we have any or no?
Yeah, so currently with the restorative practices, we are, definitely, we began a lot of momentum K-12. And I know specifically here at the high school, we've been doing a little bit more, and when we start to look at discipline, these are one of the things that we're absolutely gonna have to look at. What's working, what isn't working, And I know that Mr. Gustononi has some data, I just right now don't have that perfect answer for you. But that is something we talk about all the time, because we have to have that data to drive the work that we're doing, and if it's not effective, what do we need to do differently? And ultimately, the biggest goal is how do we ensure students are successful? We want students to be successful, we want students here in school, and we want students to have a positive opportunity. So we want that data to reflect that. So yeah, you know, not a perfect answer for you right now, but absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's for the future, right? If we're gonna put this in, it's a new code of conduct, so it's just, okay, how's it working? And,
Correct.
Yeah.
And I will just add that many of the changes I saw, I think, are refreshing, because it's been a very long time since there was a complete overhaul to remove inconsistent language or outdated language that referred to practices that we haven't done in a very long time. So much of it was long overdue, and I do think that it promotes, it's structured to promote an environment of learning where students feel safe, they can learn. And I think Jason's point about getting there, it's good to have data to look to see if this is working. So that, because we have to do this every year. We have to have a public hearing every year. It's one of two policies, I think, that we have to do that way. And so I do appreciate the work that went into it. Jason is on the committee, and the contributions, I think, from Petra and all those on that
Huge
committee.
collaborative effort from a lot of people.
Yeah, it was a really good conversation that came out of that, and also Dr. Robinson's also part of that committee. So with that, I'm going to open it up for for public comment, and before that, I just have to read a short statement. This is an opportunity for residents to address the Board of Education regarding the Code of Conduct policy. We ask that residents speak in a respectful and courteous manner so as to model proper civility and decorum for our students. As noted, we will not be voting until July 9th, but we are here to listen to your comments. We do not have a conversation, we just listen. So don't take that as we're not listening because we're not having a conversation. If you leave today and you still have comments, after this hearing, you can send your question or comments to the email address boe@shenschools.org, and we will consider them. Again, we will not be voting on this until the July 9th board meeting. So with that, is there anyone from the public that would like to use this time to comment? Seeing no one move towards, should I wait a little bit longer?
Got a lot of kids tonight.
There's a lot of kids tonight, and yes, I think I'm gonna call it. Okay, so with that, I'm going to officially close the public hearing for the Code of Conduct, and I'm going to officially open the board meeting, the regular board meeting. With that, as far as announcements, I need to quickly note that board member Tom Templeton cannot be here tonight. And with that, I need a motion to adopt tonight's agenda. First is Gusta, second is Deanna. All in favor? It is 6 in favor. Thank you. And we're going to now move into the Board of Education comments, starting with Deanna.
I will defer because I know we got a room full of awesome athletes that we want to hear from or see.
Thank you. We'll be quick, we promise you guys. All right, Gusta.
Just want to welcome everybody. It's always our favorite night to have you all here, so welcome.
Absolutely. Jackson, our student representative.
Yeah, quickly, just busy time of year, finals, regions, but we're almost there, almost to summer. And looking forward, I know on the student side, and some on the Senate side, looking forward to Shen's 70th year, right? So big time, we're excited. Happy summer. 75th, right?
Yeah.
Did I say 75th?
No, you did. You just did.
You just did.
Sorry, what you just did, just did.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay. Petra.
If we're doing numbers, my kids have reminded me that there's only 14 more days of school. So I'm gonna have to calm down. I love having everybody here, and so I look forward to vetting you and saying great job and a great year.
Thank you. Stacy.
Yeah, same, but echo what everybody else said. It is our favorite night here at the board when we have student athletes that we get to acknowledge their hard work and their accomplishments. So just welcome the students, the parents, the coaches.
Welcome and congrats.
That's it, short and sweet. All right, I will also keep my comments sweet, but I do have something that I need to share with you. If you could grab one and pass it around. I want to direct everyone's attention to this letter that's going around. It's from the BOCES Superintendent, Lauren Gimmel, and although it's dated May 10th, it was sent out to, it was given to me last week, so I apologize for the delay, but I think the message is still relevant in that she's expressing her gratitude for the ongoing support and partnership with our district. While commenting on the end of the year activities, which you'll see towards the end of that letter, she reminds us to reflect on the achievements and progress made throughout the year, to celebrate, which we're kind of celebrating tonight, the hard work and dedication of our students and educators, and look forward to new opportunities in the upcoming academic year. So with that, I will, I'm going to move into the students. I see Glennis is here. Could you please come forward?
Hello. Hello. So we ended the year strongly, and we now plan to meet during the summer for next year, which includes preparing for Shen's 75th anniversary and Senat's 50th anniversary.
Oh,
And that's it.
didn't realize it was Senat's 50. Impressive. So big year. Okay, thank you. All right, I will only read the public statement if we do have residents that want to comment during, this is a different type of comment period. We talk about anything. The last one was just the code of conduct, but this one is anything. So if I see someone coming forward, I'll read the statement. Otherwise, I'm going to move on because I know we want to get to our students. So with that, I'm going to close the public comment period. We do have one more opportunity if you think of something later on. Dr. Robinson, for your report.
I just want to introduce Mr. Coleman. Please come ahead.
All right.
Appreciate that, thank you. Just two things that we're doing here tonight. We're going to celebrate a showcase of our spring athletic program, and when that is over, we are going to just do a quick spotlight on athletic training with Rick and Isaac and Shannon Kane, who are here on behalf of the athletic training program. It was an incredible year in interscholastic athletics, going all the way back to the fall. We just had a phenomenal year in athletics. There was a ton of positive vibes, from the homecoming games through stuff in the wintertime that we did with bringing back the campus crawl that we brought back during the winter, where we had the double headers with Saratoga, and then going over to the hockey game, coming into the spring with a new sport that I'm going to get to. So it was a very successful year. A couple of quick announcements. This Friday night is our annual Hall of Fame induction ceremony. We have an absolutely powerhouse lineup of former athletes and a former team. And just to give you who is going to be inducted this week, or this Friday night: Dan Haber, former all-star basketball player, football player; Victor Barger, who went to Navy, played lacrosse; Mandy Farrow, softball player; Lizzie Predmore, one of the best runners in school history; Jake Johnson, one of the best swimmers in Section 2 history; Nick Kelly, one of the best wrestlers in Section 2 history; and Tony Fusco, one of the best wrestlers and football players in Section 2 history, and the 2013 state championship field hockey team. So that's going to be Friday night at 6 o'clock in the auditorium. I want to thank Deanna and the Ed Foundation for sponsoring the awards. And I know Deanna's going to be there not only as a board member, but as a member of the Ed Foundation to be part of that event, and we always appreciate that. So thank you, Deanna. Three main areas that we've always focused on since I've been the athletic director. Number one is the experience of our athletes. The second is that our student athletes are good students first and athletes second. And then the third is that every athlete maximizes his or her potential with the help of their coach or coaches. In goal area number 2 this year, I'm proud to announce to Dr. Robinson and the Board of Education that all 34 of our varsity interscholastic athletic programs qualified as New York State Scholar Athlete teams with a GPA of 90 or better. So Shenendehowa is one of the few teams across the state that will be recognized as a school of distinction. So a nice round of applause for our student athletes, who truly are students first before they're athletes. And it goes without saying, we had 66 student athletes just a week ago that were recognized for their commitments to going to college. This was in addition to, I think, 14 or 15 that we had in the fall. So almost 80 student athletes, 80 seniors will go on to hopefully will be participating in intercollegiate athletics next year. We added 2 teams this spring. We added a second modified lacrosse team. And working with Jason, we were able to get that team up off the ground. And even though the team struggled a little bit, talking to Jason and talking to Chad and some of the other coaches, it was great to have a new group of athletes in the program that we can continue to develop to keep our lacrosse program strong. So now we have 2 boys modified teams, 2 girls modified teams, and it's great for those, our student athletes. Going to get into our recognitions here right away. Our first team we're going to start out with tonight is our unified basketball team. Our unified basketball team had a fantastic season. They wound up winning their bracket in the culminating championship by defeating Schenectady. They continue to be a great program in the spring for us. They continue to really inspire a lot of students that stop in and teachers and aides and any staff that stops in to see those games. They're always very much, it's always a very rewarding experience. I know Carly or Holly will probably single it out, but I'm not sure if people in the audience are aware. We were meeting as a leadership group right here a week ago, and Dr. Robinson stopped our meeting so that we could all go down. The whole entire administrative team went all the way down to the gym so that we could spend 15 minutes supporting the unified basketball team. So thanks to Dr. Robinson, nice hand for him for allowing us to do that. That was a very, in our unified program, that was a very, very special moment for us. That was a very special moment, an impactful moment to have every administrator go down, sit in the gym, experience what unified sports is about, and to see people come back and their experience of watching that. So first up is going to be, we have a couple people here with us. We are thrilled that we have Carly, who's been with the program since its inception, Carly Galarno, she's been one of the coaches. And we've had Holly Mulholland, who's joined on the last couple of years to help out. And this year we actually had a unified, it's our second year, we had a unified cheer team, and Kelly DiGisaldo, one of our PE teachers in High School East, had done a great job with getting a cheer team up off the ground. And if you went to those games, you saw the kids cheering, they were having so much fun. So without further ado, our unified basketball team, come on up.
You guys are going to keep going over this stuff, right? Right.
Thanks. So here they are, our 2024 Unified Basketball and Cheer Team. Very proud of them, so thanks for having us. It's always a fun night. We appreciate you guys consistently inviting us here. I know it might not seem like a big deal because we kind of do this every year, but it really does, it means a lot. So thank you, Dr. Robinson, to the board, to all the leadership team to take the time to invite us here. I don't think these kids can get recognized enough, sincerely. So, and also what Mr. Coleman said when you guys showed up, I unfortunately was homesick, unfortunately, and could not make it last Thursday, but we were in good hands. Coach Nursberger brought it home, had confidence you would be able to do so with the kids. But the impact that it makes leadership-wise, you know, you guys are obviously extremely busy and you're torn in so many different directions. And we appreciate when you're there, and it matters. I had a couple students, when they came up to me and told me about the game, they made mention that Dr. Robinson and a bunch of important people were there. And it makes you think. It makes you think that, you know, that sense of community that we have and the support that we get, you know, from our peers, from teachers, from coaches, from our athletic department, it matters, you know, us giving our time back and serving these kids. So a sincere thank you. We were in good hands, and Coach handled the pressure of being able to coach the team to victory. So I think I put a little pressure on her, probably not meaning to, but anyway. Anyway, we were one of 34 teams this year in the section to participate in unified basketball. Back in 2013, which was the first year of unified in New York State, we were one of 6. So the growth in the progress of this program has spread not just throughout Shenendehowa, but really throughout the state. So I think of how many kids that impacts, right? How many families have been impacted positively by this experience, right? So it's about competition, it's about trying to win the games we play, but it's more about that inclusion piece, right? It's more about the friendships that are formed and the life lessons that these kids hopefully take with them as they move, past Shenendehowa. So it's pretty amazing, the growth within Clifton Park and beyond throughout the state. So like Mr. Coleman said as well, we had a unified cheer team this year, and we brought Coach DiGisaldo on board because we know that Coach Nursberger and myself cannot appropriately teach anybody how to do any type of cheer. So that was an awesome addition to our program. I cannot say that enough. There was 9 total unified cheer members, some of them not here tonight, but the enthusiasm and the energy and the questions and the just the commitment by them just made everything so much better for us during the season. So we appreciate Coach DiGisaldo's commitment to the kids, to our program, and just the kids' commitment as well. So to kind of wrap things up, as Mr. Coleman said, they won a division championship against Schenectady last week. We went 7-1 during the season, which is fantastic. A lot of competitive games. They really grew from the first practice all the way to that last game. So congratulations to all of the kids. So a job well done. And lastly, we wanted to just, like we said, thank the athletic department for being here. But for our athletes who are graduating, especially our seniors, why don't you take like one step forward, our seniors? I know everyone's not here. We can embarrass them a little bit, right? Our seniors, give them a round of applause. A lot of them have played for us, have played for this program for the last 2 or 3 years, and the growth is just spectacular. We're gonna miss them so much. And we want you to take what you've learned the last few years, the friendships that you've formed, the commitment that you've made with inclusion, and go show the world what you're made of, right? Whether you're going to college, whether you're getting a job, whether you're transitioning to the adult transition program, take these lessons and how this felt during the springtime in the last few years and take that with you and, go show the world what you're all about. So lastly, I promise lastly here, we went to Saratoga a few weeks ago, and I want to talk about this quickly because it was something groundbreaking and it was probably the highlight, I think, of most of our seasons. We had a midday game. Saratoga invited us up the Northway to play in a game, and it was during their block 4. So the entire high school community came to the gym during the last block of the day, and we got to play in front of a packed house, standing room only, and the energy in that gym, it was the friendliest competition, I think, that we had, but the energy in that gym and just it just showed the magnitude of what this program is all about and how important it is. So we're hoping to bring that to Shen next year and to invite our high school in and our community in so we can kind of one-up Saratoga and show them that we can make that happen as well. So thank you so much for having us tonight. Great job, athletes. Thank
Kelly's not here.
Kelly said.
You want me to take it?
Yeah, you want us to take it?
Yeah.
Can I get your help?
Chris is doing it.
Chris, you want to use your phone?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, you gotta move in. Tighten in. Come on, Kelly.
Come on, split in the front of you.
Where are my notes? You guys are short right there, start right down there. Don't get nice and close.
All right, everybody right here. Inclusion on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Inclusion.
All right, good job. We do plan, and Ron and I have made a commitment to Carly and to Holly and to Kelly that we do plan on figuring out a way to have an in-school game next year. Speaking with their athletic director, they've already committed to come to us next year, so we are looking forward to that. And a year from now, we'll have that. We have 2 championship teams here with us tonight. First up is our boys lacrosse team. Our boys lacrosse team are the 3-time defending Section 2 champions. They are a tremendous group of players and this is a tremendous group of seniors, and they are going to be missed in this program. And every year they've been here 3 consecutive years. So at this point, I'd like to call up our boys lacrosse team. Come on up. Still tired, I think. So our boys lacrosse team, again, 3-time defending state Section 2 champions. They went down to Shaker this year. Shaker's been hosting the Section 2 championship for the last couple of years, so we had to go to their home field. We once again beat them. We came up a little bit short in our regional game versus Mamaroneck. This is a team that Jason puts really through a tremendous test all season. They play one of the most competitive non-league schedules you'll find. They travel all up and down and have teams come here to play us to see where we're at. And they were clearly battle tested, and it showed this year. I know they fell a little bit short of their goals of where they wanted to get to, but it should take nothing away from this team. This was an incredibly fun team to watch. They played fast, they were high scoring. And as I said, it's a tremendous group of seniors with a tremendous leadership group on it. And for me, it's always very interesting with the lacrosse team. Their locker room is right across from my office. So I always get to enjoy the music and everything else that comes out of there and stopping in and seeing them. But the thing that always my takeaway is, I think to some of the students who've been on varsity for 4 years or 3 years, and they're outside my office when they're sophomores or freshmen, and then they're juniors, and then they're seniors. And I always sit and I think of like Nate Wolf, and it's like Nate's finally a senior. It's like, you know, it feels like he's been in the program forever, and that's the way the lacrosse program is. There's a ton of family atmosphere in it, created by Jason. So without further ado, I want to call up Coach Gifford and just congratulate all these boys on a great year. So come on up, Coach.
All right, first and foremost, I'd like to thank Dr. Robinson, Chris Coleman, Board of Education for having us here. It's always a pleasure to be here. If we're here, we're doing something right, and we thank you for the recognition for it. This year's team, 18-3 overall record, 18-0 in Suburban Council play, Section 2 champions, like Mr. Coleman said, for the 3rd year in a row, 13 Suburban Council All-Stars, 4 All-Americans, one of those being an academic All-American, and 21 scholar athletes in this group. Like Mr. Coleman said, it's about creating a family atmosphere. I've known most of these guys, if not all of them, since 1st grade, 2nd grade. And to watch them develop, grow, use their ups and downs to their advantage to create the people they are now has been a blessing. And I'm truly thankful, you know, to be a part of it. Can't do it without my assistant coach, Coach Hagner. My son, Easton Gifford, was along for the ride quite a bit this year. Learned some quick math this year, playing some blackjack on the bus. But these guys, it's a testament to who they are as people. They're great in the classroom, they're great on the field, they're great in the community, they're great with our youth and giving back, and they're just fantastic people to be around. And you know, part of the reason for the success is all the work off the field and the friendships formed and just the people they are. So thank you for having us tonight. It's a special group, and the 14 seniors that are part of this group will be missed. 11 of them are going on to play in college, so that's another huge kind of feather in my cap, so to speak. So thank you very much.
Thank you. How many seniors do you have? 14.
We'd just like to say, on behalf of the team, thank you to the board and everybody for all the support. Congratulations to all the teams that were here and the success that they've had over the seasons, and to those that are continuing to play and push through states, good luck. We're all supporting them, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, make sure you can see the,
Back up.
All right, thanks. Just stay there for 1 second. I want to just share one quick moment. Jason and I, after his game, we were sharing pictures. I had taken a picture of Jason coaching his team, and I said, this is going to be a memory for you for life, you know, winning this championship. He sends me back a picture of Easton on the back of the bus with the Section 2 plaque, and he says, God only knows what he learned on the back of the bus. And I said, listen, as the son of a former coach who rode the back of the bus, trust me, it's the best education you're ever going to get there, boy, all right? So congratulations to our boys lacrosse team. Incredible job by these seniors. Good luck in the future, all right? Thank you. Okay, our next team that we have up, our next championship team is our baseball team. Our baseball team was the AAA top seed. We were Suburban Council champions. So Greg, why don't you bring the baseball team up and we'll talk about them when they come up. Baseball boys. So this team, Coach Chris Adula will talk about in a second. They are still playing. They are still playing. They again are another tremendous group of athletes. This year was the first year of AAA baseball. That's the new classification. We worked hard and we put in a 3-game semifinal series and also a 3-game best-of-3 championship series. They played CBA in the AAA semifinals. Game went all the way to the wire here. It was an incredible atmosphere out at the stadium where the Plainsman Park where they play, and they wound up prevailing, which led them to go down to Saratoga. First game didn't go our way. Second game wasn't going our way, and it looked like it just kind of had that feeling of somebody who's seen so many games. All right, we really put up a good fight, but this just isn't going our way. And Cooper Reinisch stepped to the plate. Cooper Reinisch stepped to the plate and in one swing saved the season. He hit a grand slam, which put us up in the 6th inning, and then we wound up taking it in the 7th. And we went to the game 3 the next night, and they just had a tremendous night, and they knew I just knew we were gonna win that game 3, and we did. Last Saturday, we went out to Syracuse, and we were trailing 10-5 heading into the top of the 7th inning. And lo and behold, these boys right here found a way to score 6 runs in the top of the 7th inning. Where if you look at the team's win percentage, when you're down 5 runs in the top of the 7th, you probably have less than a 2% win percentage in a game. But the reason I share those 2 stories with you is Coach Christodoulou and I spent a lot of time talking and texting. This team is all heart. They are all heart. They may be an underdog going down to play catch 'em on Friday night, but do never count this team out. This team has always found a way to win. They're back-to-back champions. They are a phenomenal team with a phenomenal coach and coaching staff. And I could not be more proud of what they did this year. And it was a joy to watch them play. And to think of the way in which they've won some of these games is it's incredible. So without further ado, I'm going to call Coach Christodoulou.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, and we appreciate all the support the Board of Education gives us. Trip comes right down through Chris's office. When we need something, it's there. And I'm going to tell you, many people they see the highlights on the news, they see the interviews, they see the excitement, but you don't realize what goes into that and all the hard work that these guys have put in, as teams before them have, and these guys have bought into our process and our plan. The winter workouts, whether it be in the weight room or skill development, is critical to our success and their development. Critical piece is preseason, getting out to Hainers and being able to have a baseball practice in a baseball facility. That is critical in the month of March to get these guys ready. It reduces our opportunity for injuries. It gets them into baseball shape, and the time and the commitment you have made for us to be there is critical for our success. And that starts in March before the snow even melts. You know, as a coach, your job is to push these guys right to their limits, each and every one of them, collectively, and individually and collectively. And then when things like this happen, where, you know, Cooper hits a grand slam, or James Reddick has a 15 strikeout evening against Colony, or we come back with 6 runs in the top of the 7th, you know, it brings a tear to your eye. It just is so emotional to see these guys respond and achieve and accomplish their goals collectively. And, you know, as the leader of the group, it's just an amazing process to watch them. And, you know, we've cried together, we've laughed together, we've yelled at each other, and we've all come together because of the common goal to represent Shenendehowa to the best of our abilities. And it's a special group, and they still got some work to do. And we're looking forward to Friday. We'll play the best of our ability on Friday against RC Ketchum, and, you know, get after it the best we can, and see if we can play on Saturday for the state title. And we're excited. And these guys have achieved in the classroom as well. That cannot be missed. Another scholar athlete team that we produce. So I'm very fortunate to be their coach, and I'm surrounded by a great coaching staff. Many are Shen former players, and that's critical in our process and our teaching and our curriculum within the program. So, Coach, who'd like to speak?
James.
James Reddick is a senior pitcher. He's been with us for 3 years on the varsity, and next year he'll be heading to Fordham University.
Yeah, on behalf of all Shen Baseball, we'd like to thank you all for your ongoing support throughout the season, and we're going to do our best to bring back a state title from Binghamton this weekend.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right, make sure you can see the camera. All right, boys. Congrats. Go. Our final team that we're bringing up here, just to give you perspective, our baseball team will be looking to make history down in Binghamton to bring home the state championship. This team that we're bringing up made history this year. The team that we're bringing up is our first girls flag football team. You know, it was funny, I think back to when I would come and present either last year or in the fall, and I'd mentioned we're going to start girls flag football, and people being supportive and hearing, you know, people with questions and comments, and, you know, just how wonderful experience this was to get this off the ground. We had a tremendous turnout of girls. It was super competitive. We went 9-4, I believe, in our first year. We were Division I semifinalists. 12 teams this year in Section 2 participated. The competition was incredible. If you ask people, they were blown away by the competitiveness and the level of play that the girls brought to the field. And personally for me, the level of play, sometimes you would think it would take 2 to 3 years to get there to play at the level they played at, but through development and instruction and teaching the techniques of football. These girls came to play, and they came to play every day. And if you ever saw their sidelines, the sideline was electric at all the games. They had a couple of phenomenal wins. They won on the last play of the game down in Troy. They won a home sectional game. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up our very first ever girls flag football team at Shenendehowa. All right, I'd like to bring up Coach Matt Buckheit, who is our first ever girls flag football coach. Come on up, Matt.
First, I'd like to just thank the school administration led by Dr. Robinson, the Board of Education, and the athletic department for this opportunity. These girls really deserve the recognition. They made history. Flag in Section 2 is brand new, and I couldn't be more proud of this group of girls. Trying something new for the first time takes a lot of courage, right? And then picking up on a game that you've never played before is even harder. So from the early times, back in the gym, learning the fundamentals of what terminology is, learning the game, learning the rules, to hosting a home playoff game, 8-3 regular season. The accolades are through the roof, and it's really, really incredible. For me, what's even more promising is the culture that they're building amongst each other. That shows that we're gonna have a very bright future, and that we're here to stay, we're here to last, and we have bigger goals ahead of us. So again, couldn't be more proud of this group of girls in their inaugural season.
Thank you. So Gabby is coming up here. Gabby Stewart is coming up here. Gabby was, as you know, is a phenomenal basketball player for us. I just want you to know that we were at a meeting last night that went from 7 till 10 o'clock, right? We left here quite late in this very room. Gabby was selected as the first ever Defensive Player of the Year in Section 2.
That's a little bit surprising for me, but I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of all of us, for this experience and just giving us this opportunity to go out and show our stuff in this first ever year of girls flag football. Thank you.
Oh, you're going to be a part of the picture.
Stay there for a second, girls. I want to say, you guys can back and sit down. I just want to say, one thing that I think needs to be said. Dr. Robinson and I, we're going to be going into our 20th years at Shenendehowa next year, and the pleasure that I've had to work with him because of opportunities that we give to students like this. And whether it's girls basketball, or girls flag football, or girls golf, girls wrestling, girls flag football, unified basketball is what I meant to say, unified basketball, unified bowling, the ability to allow our baseball team to travel all up and down and across New York State for our lacrosse team to be able to do those same things. Shenendehowa will always, under his leadership, allow us to give opportunities to students. And I think about the students who are playing girls flag football here, who will come back and watch a game in a few years and see the next generation. Our athletic program is partnering with Junior Plainsman to start a grade 3-4, a grade 5-6 girls flag football division. They've already had a really good turnout within the first couple of days of the sign out. But I know they said it, but I think it should be noticed that Dr. Robinson, this is a product of all the opportunities you provide for our students and our athletes, and we can't thank you enough. So, girls, congratulations on a great year. Again, just in closing, before we do the spotlight on training, we are going to let the student athletes go. We told them we'd have them out of here by 7. We had that public code of conduct hearing beforehand. But again, thanks to the Board of Education, always for your support. We got major stuff going on with our projects this year, and we'll see you at football games and on Friday night. So athletes are dismissed.
Chris, thank you. You do a great job with this. I look forward to it, as other board members have shared. Thank you for the details, the attention to detail, and watching those girls play was very exciting. I was thinking rugby when I first saw that. I was just like, how are they doing that? Like, it's really great work, and thank you for.
It was awesome.
It was. It really was.
This was awesome.
Just the energy, but you can still see that energy.
It was like, you know, our coaches had a play card down here.
No joke. They're here to play.
I'm gonna get that out.
Okay, no problem. We'll just wait a few minutes before we move on.
So we're still streaming.
Oh, we're still streaming. We'll just wait a couple of minutes and then he'll see us call.
I think Rick, let's see Rick. How we doing? Oh, he's there. Chris, we're gonna get started. Is Rick here?
Yep.
Rick and Shannon both here. You wanna tee it up?
Yeah. We'll appreciate you welcoming us back. We would like to just kind of, on a showcase night where we're showcasing our athletic program, talk about one component of our athletic program, and that is athletic training. And athletic training has changed quite drastically over the changed quite drastically over time. Dr. I should go to the next slide. We first started with athletic trainers here in the mid-90s. Rick was originally contracted out. What was the company's name, Rick?
The Center for Sports Medicine.
Center for Sports Medicine. We outgrew that. And then early on in my tenure, we brought Rick on as a full-time athletic trainer in August of 2008. We cannot thank Dr. Robinson and the board for their support to allow us to add an assistant athletic trainer. And Shannon Kane is here with us tonight, and she is doing a phenomenal job getting both acclimated and right into it right away. She came middle of the year and was thrown into it right away. But you hear kids talk, it's like, oh, I gotta go see Shannon. You know, it's like, I said to Rick, I'm like, I think you're like, you're getting cut out here now. It's like, I'm gonna go see Shannon, you know, for her services, which is kind of what we had wanted to do. Next slide, Dr. Robinson. Some of you may or may not know the old athletic training room used to be in the high school health office. As part of the construction, we have the athletic training room, which is now a dedicated space, was completed with taping, treatment tables, modalities, ice machines, hot pack machines. During the early years before the significant expansion of the athletic programs, the athletic training room saw approximately 500, 600 athletes per visit, or visits per school year, not including those necessary on-field injuries. What we want to focus on is the next slides, and that is Shen Sports Medicine right now in the present. Since 2008, our sports medicine program has grown significantly. The services we provide for our students at High School East, High School West, and the middle school. We have a staff with Rick, our two full-time trainers, where they're currently evaluating, treating, rehabilitating 25 to 30 athletes per day, while maintaining and covering over 6 interscholastic contests per day. It is amazing when you think about the work that Rick and Shannon do to be everywhere all the time after school. We have 1,000 athletes in the fall, we have 600 plus athletes in the winter, and we have 750 athletes in the spring, okay, who start practice at 2:45 in the afternoon and sometimes go all the way to 9:30 at night, depending on the day. They're everywhere, and they are a phone call away, and they respond all the time to help get our athletes back on the playing fields as fast as they can. Our success as an athletic program, this is one of the components that I don't think people realize of what they do when an athlete twists their ankle or an athlete hurts themselves, and the rehabilitation that they put the athletes through to help get them back as quick as they can. And we have a great relationship with our trainers and our coaches who defer to Rick and Shannon now, and they've always done that, but it's not like some places where you'll say, okay, well, hey, you know, you're ready to play. No. The sports medicine team will let the coaches know when athletes are ready to return to competition, and that's an invaluable part of what they do. So I'm just going to introduce the two of them for the board. I think most of you know them, but just for people who might be here, Rick Nizick is our head athletic trainer. He was the first full-time trainer at Shenendehowa, and we hired him in 2008. He's been part-time. He was part-time since '99. He has 28 experience as an athletic trainer at both the college level and the high school level. He serves as a part-time medical provider for the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee. Rick has gone all around the world with the United States bobsled team, correct? He's gone, when I say all around the world, I mean all around the world. And the fact that somebody wearing a Shen training shirt does that speaks volumes about the type of quality trainer that we have here. For him to be able to go and work with Olympic athletes and then come back and work with our athletes speaks volumes about who he is. Shannon Kane is our assistant athletic trainer who joined us this year. Obviously, she's our first female ATC at Shen. She has 10 years experience, and Shannon came to us with a tremendous amount of experience between the collegiate, the clinical level, and also the secondary school setting. And as he said, she has fit in seamlessly with our program and understanding the expectations that we have of our athletes, our coaches, ourselves, and she has just been a great hire for us, and we're thrilled to have her on board. On the next slide, I'm going to turn it over to Rick, and then for Shannon to jump in, but they're going to talk to you a little bit about some of the services they provide to our student athletes. So Rick.
So first of all, I'd just like to say thank you to Dr. Robinson, to the board. A little backstory, he was slightly off on the statistic. We had 1,200 athletes last fall. So that meant it was a ratio of 1,200 student athletes to 1 certified athletic trainer. And I had a little bit of a mini meltdown end of September. I talked to Mr. Coleman. Mr. Coleman spoke with Dr. Robinson about the need to bring on additional hands to service our athletes adequately. It just got to the point where I just couldn't maintain the quality of care that I was used to providing and that the athletes were used to getting. So the decision was thankfully made to approve that position. And I was able to steal Shannon from a rival district, so to speak, and bring her on board, where she's been an absolutely outstanding fit to what I do here and now what we do here for our student athletes. So for those of you who aren't quite aware of what we do as certified athletic trainers, we are the first responders for our student athletes in the event of an injury. So we provide evaluation and treatment for all of the orthopedic injuries that happen on the field, on the court, etc. Of course, we also handle some general medical issues as well in terms of injury evaluation and treatment. We do a lot of manual therapies here, which is quite honestly a little bit unique at the secondary school setting. One of the reasons I chose Shannon to be the assistant here is due to her strong manual therapy skill set as well. There are not a lot of high school athletic trainers doing the types of things that we do in terms of techniques that benefit athletes the most. Graston techniques, cupping techniques, different type of manual skill sets that help athletes recover quicker from injuries. We do quite a bit of athletic injury rehabilitation here as well. So post-operatively, we have a great situation. There are several orthopedic doctors that are at mine and now her disposal that we can reach out to, and we have a direct conduit to those orthopedics, which means that we generally get athletes in to see an orthopedic doctor within 24 to 48 hours of an injury, versus calling up the clinic and having to go through that whole process of accessing doctors. We have the ability to really expedite that. And that's been a huge help. And in turn, those orthopedic doctors will send a majority of those athletes back to us for the rehabilitation process, which is huge because then athletes and parents don't have to worry about physical therapy, co-pays involved, scheduling, time on task, and so on and so forth. Concussion management is a big part of what we do. It has been for many years, ever since 2012 with the Concussion Management Awareness Act of New York State. And we're doing more of that now with neurocognitive testing, evaluation, treatments, and that type of thing as well. And lastly, one of the big components that we have is coaching education. And fortunately now I have somebody else to assist me. We will do all the training in the department for first aid, CPR, AED. We also offer the coaching courses for those new coaches who are looking to become trained certified as coaches in New York State, which is a health sciences course which we offer as well. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what we do. Again, not sure how many of you, some of you know me, obviously, many years of experience. Some of you are more newer to what we do, but I wanted to make sure that everybody was quite aware of what we did. But she's been a fantastic addition to the department. The kids have taken to her very quickly. She's taken to them very quickly. She tolerates me for the most part, and it's worked out very well. So I'd just like to share an opportunity to say a couple things.
First of all, Dr. Robinson and the board, thank you so much for this opportunity. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here right now. I do have to put up with Rick every single day, but I'll deal with it because these kids are worth it. I do love the opportunity that I have here to provide for these student athletes, especially for our female athletes. They now have a unique opportunity where they can come to me with some things that may not have been comfortable coming to a male with before. I also have a lot of experience, like Rick said, with different levels of play, and especially with the concussion management. Actually, my last district that I was in, I helped write their concussion management policy for their district. And so I'm just looking forward to being here for many more years and maybe kicking Rick out one day, but we'll see. For right now, I said we make a really great team, and thank you again for the opportunity to be here.
Yes, thank you very much.
If anybody has any questions for Rick or Shannon before we sign up.
Thank you for everything you do for our athletes every day.
So just a quick comment, and I typically don't comment on these situations, but the last comment that Shannon made, I know it was a priority for the board as well. So it was a merging of opportunities, because I was on the field talking to Rick when he was kind of going through his little meltdown. And so the merging of opportunities. How do we take advantage of a crisis or challenge and turn it into opportunities? Certainly, the LMA knows I'm always talking about transforming challenges and opportunities. And I've seen it firsthand in terms of Shannon coming on board and adding that additional value that we didn't have. That regardless of how Rick may have tried and his great brilliance and expertise, Shannon brings a different, an added dimension to the equation that I think that makes the program complete. And so as we celebrate our student athletes tonight, and we talk about the training, we talk about the competition, this is the linchpin. Kids gotta stay healthy to participate. Not only physically healthy, but kids also have to be psychologically healthy. And having people that they can trust in their greatest time of need is significant. And you have two people that couple thousand student athletes know that they can trust to give them concrete advice, to give them the best advice, even if the advice being, guess what, kid, you're done. For your best interest, you're done. And kids trust that, and I really want to emphasize that point, because sometimes we have people in positions and sometimes people don't appreciate it, but it's that trust factor that's most important. So thank you both for being who you are as individuals and as professionals. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. This is really good. Well, to hear the history, but also to bring it to forward, and also the addition of Shannon, I feel that makes us stronger and better.
I'll just leave it with this. I was at a wrestling match one time, and a kid, he was a wrestler of ours, but he was a young kid, and he got up off the mat, and his pinky was going that way. And he said, "You're the athletic trainer?" I said, "No, I'm the athletic director. You gotta go that way." You're the athletic trainer. I'm not good with that stuff. That guy is. So anyways, we really want to thank you we took up a lot of your time tonight. We really do appreciate it. We look forward to seeing everybody at sporting events in the fall. Have a great summer, everybody, and we'll keep you posted how the baseball team does.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Rick.
Okay, so we're moving into C, which is the recognition of Department Board of Education members. So I knew this moment was coming, but that doesn't make it any easier. So with great pride, I, along with the administration and our fellow board members, would like to recognize Stacy Flom and Jason DiGianni for your exceptional, sorry, I think I need to drink some water really quick. Exceptional service to the Shenendehowa School District. So I have heartfelt gratitude, I don't want to do this, clearly. Gratitude for your dedication, hard work, and unwavering commitment, and I do believe that your presence has had a profound impact on our staff, students, and our community. So both Jason and Stacy, your years of service have been marked by integrity. Your passion is obvious. You have a deep sense of responsibility. You both have helped shape policy, 3 years, a little bit longer for Jason, that, you definitely have an impact in that time. Jason, I have to say, I can't say enough, for the last 2 years being the Board of Education Vice President, you have been, you always have a measured approach. You're a great sounding board. Your advice is, I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss not having you to say, hey, I wanna run this by you, what do you think? I can't, you're just gonna be missed. I should say, I can't imagine life without you, but you will be missed. And Stacy, and actually this is for both of you. I feel like I have friends that I would not have otherwise had, and I hope that continues. I know you're both are parents of amazing young women in this district, and so you'll still be around, and so I hope that we can continue that friendship. I also feel like it's really important to also say to the families how grateful we are for the sacrifices that they made so that you could be here, because they're not elected officials, but they are making a big sacrifice. And you're welcome, they can have you back, but we grudgingly give you back to them. But we certainly do appreciate all that you've done.
Can we
So,
just do pictures with them?
yes, well, I'm just gonna quickly read each of these, and you wanna do a picture with them?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna do Stacy first, and so our administration put together these lovely plaques for each of you. As an individual who has served on the Board of Education for the past 3 years, an individual who has been a frequent and articulate representative for the Shenendehowa district and local government and various school and community committees, an individual who has exhibited a strong commitment to the pursuit of excellence for our students and staff, an individual who has been a strong advocate for innovative approaches to utilizing district and community resources, an individual whom the graduate of Shenendehowa and their families will be forever indebted. Be it resolved that the Board of Education expresses gratitude to Mrs. Blom's family for the sacrifices they've made, sharing their wife and mother with the district for the last 3 years. And be it further resolved that the resolution be the only item to appear on a page of the Shenendehowa Central School Board of Education minutes for the meeting of June 4th, 2024. Well, it can't be because there's Jason too.
Can you go by the flag?
Sure.
Because I am a professional photographer.
Face in the middle.
Oh, you have to hold it, yes. No, it's not. I'm just gonna do a couple, so bear with me. Thank you. And Jason, I have to sit down for this. So, well, otherwise I have to mess around with my mic. Jason DiGianni, as an individual who served on the Board of Education for the past 3.5 years, of which he served as Board Vice President for 2 years, an individual who has been a frequent and articulate representative for the Shenendehowa District with local government and various school and community committees, an individual who has exhibited a strong commitment to the pursuit of excellence for our students and staff, an individual who has been a strong advocate for innovative approaches to utilizing district and community resources, an individual to whom the graduate of Shenendehowa and their families will be forever indebted. Be it resolved that the Board of Education expresses gratitude to Mr. DiGianni's family for the sacrifices they have made, sharing their husband and father with the district for the last 3.5 years. Be it further resolved that this resolution be the only item to appear on a page of the Shenendehowa Central School Board of Education minutes for the meeting of June 4th, 2024.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, I wanted to make sure, did anyone else wanted to share any comments? I know that this is someone putting the spot, but I wanted to make sure you had an opportunity. No?
I thought
Okay.
Petra was gonna say something.
Oh, I just,
No, it's because I made eye contact and I think she was.
you guys are frustrating for leaving, but you were wonderful board members and I really, really appreciate your service. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. You don't have to say anything, don't worry. I will move on to the agenda. So it looks like Mrs. Carmen is back up, this time without her camera. For the policies and procedures reading, first reading.
So being presented tonight for first reading are the policies that were reviewed at May's policy review meeting. And obviously the code of conduct is on there and all the accompanying documents that go, forms and regulations for informational purposes. But the other one that I really want to point out is the district's emergency response plan, which is also a requirement yearly that's on here as well. And we typically bring it forward at this time of the year.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you. All right, so we're going to move into the consent items, and the first up is item A. Can I have a motion to approve the Treasurer's report for the period ending April 30th, 2024? First is Deanna, second is Stacy. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. Thank you. Item B. Can I have a motion to approve the May 7th and May 28th, 2024 minutes? First is Petra, second is Gusta. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. The motion passes. Thank you. Now we're going to move into the action items. And the first up are the business items. Can I have a motion to approve the tax certiorari reappropriation? First is Deanna, second is Stacy. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. Number 2, can I have a motion to approve the disposal of obsolete furniture, equipment, and textbooks? First is Petra, second is Stacy. Comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. Jason, motion approved. Item 3. Can I have a motion to approve the scholarships and local grants with gratitude and appreciation? First is Gusta, second is Petra. Comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. Motion approved. Thank you. Number 4. Can I have a motion to approve the additional ECA club? There's one on there for Renton. First is Petra, second is Jason. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. The motion is approved. Item 5. Can I have a motion to approve the 7 bids presented here, the 4 boiler and DHW maintenance and repair bid extension, electrical work bid extension, technology supplies, back floor refinishing, summer groceries, video system, and professional screen. All those things. First is Gusta, second is Stacy. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. The motion is approved. Item 6. Can I have a motion to approve the capital project bid award for SH High School East Toilet Station? First is Deanna, second is Stacy. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. The motion is approved. Item 7. Can I have a motion to approve the capital bid award for EV bus charging stations? First is Stacy. Second is Gusta. Any comments or questions?
Just a question.
Yep.
Why didn't we award anything on the mechanical part of the bid?
Because we have another fix that we don't have to replace the whole thing again.
Oh, so like
Yeah, so
after
we're
the
not-
bid, we
exactly,
decided we don't
exactly,
need it anymore?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or
actually.
we're doing something different?
After the evaluation, we realized, oh, wow, yeah.
Okay.
It's a good thing.
That's a big
Yeah.
thing.
Thank you. That's a good question. All in favor? It is 6 in favor, the motion passes, thank you. Okay, so I am gonna okay, we're under the contract renewals. I'm gonna do the first one separate and then I'm gonna start combining. For number 8I, can I have a motion to approve the DROC's employee assistance plan? First is Petra, second is Stacy. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor, the motion passes. All right, I'm going to do for the next section for IMS, I'm going to approve all of these together or put them to vote all together. Can I have a motion to approve the following IMS contracts? Adirondack Cabling, Linnell on Guard and Milestone. Number 2, CDW-G JAMF. 3, CDW-G Beam Data Platform. 4, ComSource. All 3 of these sub-items. A, which is Nutanix, Mine, Dizian, Frame, and Single Wire. Number 5, Custom Computer Tableau Data for Infinite Campus. And also the items that are needed. A, annual licensing subscription. B, the Tableau ad hoc server software. C, Infinite Campus hosted report server. 6, Software House International. And under that, items A, Smart Deploy Plus, and B, No B4, and 7, Ronco. And these are all renewable contracts, annual renewable contracts. So that's the motion. First is Gusta, I know it's a lot. Second is Stacy. Any questions or comments? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. Thank you. And that's a lot. Of course, we got a few more like this. I don't have to read this anymore, so, all right. A good suggestion. Okay, thank you.
It's a good one.
All right. Can I have a motion to approve the Power School contract? All right, first is Stacy, second is Gusta. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. Okay. Okay, 9, these are not renewals. Okay, so for the first one, can I have a motion to approve the MTech contract? First is Petra, second is Stacy. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. It's approved. 2, can I have a motion to approve the Pro Sound Associates contract? First is Jason, second is Deanna. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. Thank you. For the special ed contracts, we're going to group all of those underneath. So can I have a motion to approve 1, advanced therapy, 2, CBD connections, 3, the New England Center for the Children, 4, Don Abul-Boobi, 5, Gina Cosgrove, Chelsea Place Psychological Services, 6, Kelly Brock, Educational Consultant, 7, Living Resources, and 8, Maxim Healthcare Services. First is Petra, second is Gusta. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. Thank you. All right. I think I could probably do what you suggest. Well, let's see. Okay. So under instructional materials, we're going to do it by each level: elementary, secondary, and district-wide. So can I have a motion? I'm actually thinking about just like listing the names and not the subs underneath.
Yeah, just do like A, B.
Well, yeah. All right. Can I have a motion to approve A, English Language Arts, the items listed thereunder, B, Professional Learning, C, Math, which includes just the Explore Learning, D, Science, the Smithsonian Science, and E, Testing, which has the 2 items, Pro-Ed and Riverside Insights. First is Deanna, second is Gusta. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is approved. Thank you. 6 in favor. Okay. 2, can I have a motion to approve the secondary items for instructional materials, including A, Math, B, Social Studies, C, Business Facts and Technology, and D, World Languages? And you're welcome. First is Petra, second is Jason. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6 in favor. Thank you. All right. District-wide. Can I have a motion to approve the district-wide instructional materials, including A, department agnostic tech tools, B, English as a new language, C, fine and performing arts K through 12, D, special education, and E, office instruction? First is Jason, second is Stacy. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 6, and that is unanimous. Thank you very much. And with that, I invite Mrs. Mylod. Is she here tonight? Oh, there she is. Up for the special education placements.
She thought she had 20 minutes before
I know,
she come up
and
here.
he surprised you.
Good evening. You have before you the recommendations from the committees on preschool and school age special education for 23-24 and 24-25. Any questions?
Seeing any questions, can I have a motion to accept the special education placements? First is Deanna, second is Gusta. Since there were no questions, all in favor? It is 6 in favor. Thank you, Mrs. Mylod. And we now have Mrs. Scalia up for our personnel recommendations.
Good evening. There are 3 items under personnel tonight. You have your staffing recommendation package that has several pages tonight. The majority of this is for summer appointments. I would like to point out that 2 appointments that we have, I am told that we have one of our new teachers that will be joining the district with us this year. Michaela Ritter is here tonight. She will be joining us in our Connections program in special education. And I would also like to point out a modification of appointment for Belinda Govich. Belinda is currently our Assistant Director of Transportation, and we are happy to announce that she will be, hopefully, appointed to the Director of Transportation for the district. And Belinda's here tonight as
We're
well.
gonna make you wait like 2 more seconds.
Also on the staffing agenda, I would like to point out our retirements with appreciation. We have Stephen Avis with 3 years, Eve Checo with 17 years, Danielle Curley with 24 years, Patricia Hanlon with 26 years, Tammy Martin with 22 years, Wilfred Ruggie with 42 years, Edward Snyder with 9 years, Margaret Stutz with 24 years, Teresa Urban with 24 years, and Patricia Slopnik with 7 years, for a total of 198 years.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Any questions for? Okay. With that, I'm going to combine all 3. With that, can I have a motion to approve the staffing recommendations as presented by Mrs. Scalia, the Shen Summer Adventures Coordinator? And I don't know if you mentioned it's Karen Simone.
Correct.
And 3, the Summer Special Education ESY Program Support Staff. First is Gusta, second is Stacy. All in favor? Wait, actually, comments, we may have comments. All in favor? It is unanimous. I do have a comment, but I wanted to get the vote first because we're going to invite Kayla and Belinda up. But I just wanted to say that thank you to those retirees, Stephen, Eve, Danielle, Tammy, Wilford, 42 years. Boy, it's a lot of years. Edward, Margaret, Teresa, Patricia Hanlon, and Patricia Slotnick. I see that 2 of those people have the 25 years in, so hopefully I'll see them at the 25-year club celebration next week on June 12th. So if you're available, I think that's 4 o'clock at High School West next on June 12th.
I believe it's 4 o'clock as well. I have to
Yes.
check, but yes.
So I
High
think,
School West.
yes. So I thank all of you for your service. I wish you all the best as you continue your journey outside Shen's walls. And with that, can I invite, I do invite Belinda up and Michaela up, and so that we can shake your hand and congratulate you personally. Aw, she's like, I think you've got to bring her.
Yeah, same,
Right?
we would rock that.
Totally.
Sorry.
No,
Thanks for sending
yes, congratulations.
You should know the stopping cost being the best place for us.
Yeah, I know. Wait a minute.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations and welcome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It's all around.
We could have more committees.
Yeah. Please. Anytime. Anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah.
With that, we have Mrs. Carmen back for a second reading.
So tonight, we have the policies that are being presented for a second reading that went to first reading last month at the Board of Education Policy Review in April. Any questions?
And that is the last of our meetings until the fall.
Correct.
They seem to come fast and furious, so. All right, with no questions, can I have a motion to approve the policies and procedures presented for second reading? First is Deanna, second is Jason. All in favor? It is 6. No, it's okay. That is 6, and motion is approved. Thank you. We have another public comment section here at item number 8. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to come forward now for a public comment that thought of something since the first one? Okay, all right. Not seeing anyone approach the microphone, we'll close the second public comment and we'll go into the for good of the order. This is an opportunity for board members to give a shout out, talk about salient matters, or just anything that they want to share. I actually already shared the one thing I wanted to share, and that is next week, the 25-year club. That is back. That I thought was a really cool thing that we had that disappeared for a while after COVID, but now it's back. So hopefully if you can get to that. And also 9th grade awards is on the 11th. And so I'm sure Dr. Robinson will be sending out reminders for all of those. Without anything else, can I have a motion to adjourn? First is Jason, second is Stacy. All in favor, 6 in favor. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all. If you could turn off your microphones.